Hey everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a celebrity inspired makeup look inspired by one of my favorite supermodels. Her name is Rosie Huntington. I will insert a photo on the screen of the look that I recreated today. I was scrolling on Pinterest and I came across this photo and I just thought it was absolutely breathtaking and very different than what I would normally wear. I don't normally gravitate towards black eyeliner or red lips for that matter. I usually only bring one or the other out for like a special occasion or something, but both of them together I'm actually quite liking. I don't know, what do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. And before we get into it, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell notification. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. As always, I'm starting with my base. I'm going to use a primer that I've never tried before, but I've heard so many good things about. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Look at that, brand new. I think they have multiple versions / multiple colors of this, but this is the one I have. I believe this is just the original. I'm not really sure, but I'm going to scoop some of that out just using a palette knife. I don't really know how much to use. Like that much? I'm just gonna put it on the back of my hand and start working it in with my fingers. Ooh, this feels really good, actually. It feels very smooth on the skin and not thick like I was expecting. I'm using this primer because I want my skin to look very filled in, if you will, like my pores. I just want them to be smooth and flawless because in the photo that I'm referencing, Rosie's skin looks so smooth and flawless, so I'm hoping this gives me that effect. I really wasn't expecting this to be luminous. I was kind of expecting like a silicone-y primer. I'm definitely not mad at the luminosity, I just wasn't expecting that at all. So far, that feels really good on my face, but the true test is will makeup apply good on top of it? So let's find out. I really wanted to pick a foundation that would give me a flawless finish, but that would feel really light on the skin. I'm looking for a little bit more coverage than I typically would go for, but I want it to feel very light and I want it to look very effortless. So I thought, why not go with the one and the only Luminous Silk foundation by Giorgio Armani. So I have the shade 3 here, which I'm anticipating will be a little bit dark, but honestly, that's okay. I wouldn't be mad if I had a little bit of a tan going on. I'm just gonna take one pump of that on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna start dotting that on my face. Definitely a little dark, but not too bad. We'll be able to make that work. I'm trying not to go too heavy right off the bat. And then once I've placed that foundation on my face, I'm going in with this fluffy brush from Say. I'm just gonna start working that foundation into the skin. So this foundation is definitely a little warm, a little yellow for my skin, but I feel like if I blend it down the neck, it won't be too bad. I'm really just pressing that into the skin instead of dragging, just so I don't disrupt that primer underneath, which I think is actually holding up pretty well. The foundation is applying really nicely on top. All right, so that is one thin layer of the foundation. What I love about this foundation is it feels so light on the skin. It feels like nothing, but you can really build this up to like a full glam coverage if you want, or you can do like a light medium coverage like I have now. I am resisting applying more just because I don't want this look to be too heavy, especially with a red lip. If you're going too hard on the rest of your face, you can look a little bit overdone, and I do want to avoid that. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and spot conceal. I'm using my go-to concealer for this. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I'm using the shade Creme Brulee, and just picking up a little bit of that concealer on a brush. I've been using this method a lot lately, just a tiny little bit, and I just dab that onto any breakouts or any areas I just want a little bit of extra coverage, and this works like an absolute dream. I call this concealer the magic eraser just because it's so high coverage, but it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of makeup. It literally looks like you're erasing your acne or your dark spots or whatever it is you're covering, your veins even. It's incredible. Moving right along, I'm going to conceal under my eyes. This has been my favorite concealer lately. This is by Maybelline. This is their Super Stay Activewear Concealer. I'm wearing the shade 10, and this concealer, I think is my favorite concealer right now. I don't know, that is a very strong statement, but I've been using this and only this under my eyes for weeks now. I'm going to apply a little bit of that concealer right under my eyes. Not applying too much, just kind of focusing it in any areas where I'm a little dark. And I actually like to blend that out with a beauty blender. So I'm just doing that. The thing about this concealer is it just truly is a long wear concealer. It doesn't crease throughout the day. It doesn't slip and slide around. Once it's set, it is set in place. And again, this is a very light formula, really light consistency. So under the eyes, this just makes the perfect concealer in my opinion. I'm also going to take whatever is left over and blend it on my lids just to cover up some of those veins. You guys are probably getting sick and tired of me mentioning these products every single video, but I don't even care. I've been loving them. These are the Say Sun Melt bronzers. I have the shade Fair Bronze and Light Bronze, and I just love them so much. I like this color for a little bit of a darker bronze and this one for more of a lighter natural bronze on me. I definitely reach for the lighter shade a little bit more just because it's a bit cooler, a bit more natural looking on me, but I'm gonna mix these together. I'm gonna start with the shade Fair Bronze first and apply that to the perimeter of my face, kind of contour with it a little bit. And then afterwards, I'm gonna go in with the light bronze shade and I'm going to just bronze up the skin ever so slightly. Oh, and I'm using a 109 wavy brush from Makeup Forever. This is my favorite brush to apply contour these days. It just, honestly, it does all the work so quickly. It pains me to say this, but I think I'm gonna skip blush for now. I'm just looking at the photo on my laptop right now and it doesn't really look like she has blush. And if you guys know me, you know I love blush. I will restrain myself. So for the eyes, the shadow aspect of this look is quite simple. She's not wearing a ton of eyeshadow. It's very natural and subtle for the most part. So I think I'm just going to apply some bronzer in my crease. I'm using the shade Laguna 00 in the NARS Laguna Bronzing Powder. And I'm taking that on a fluffy brush and just very lightly sweeping that through my crease. I'm going to avoid applying any eyeshadow on my lower lash line just because I'm likely going to end up cleaning up my liner later, so I don't want to have to redo all that work and ruin it with concealer. So I'm just going to focus on the upper portion of my eyes. I think I'm just going to jump right into eyeliner. I'm using the Rare Beauty Perfect Strokes Longwear Gel Eyeliner in the shade True Black. And this is a brand new product from Rare Beauty. I'm so excited to try it. I will say I'm not a huge fan of retractable pencils, whether it be lip pencils or eye pencils, although Rare Beauty has done a really great job with her retractable pencils in the past. It's just not my favorite way to have a pencil. I like to be able to sharpen it, but let's go ahead and try. So Rosie has a pretty dramatic wing, so I'm going to map out that shape using this liner, but I'm going to kind of conservatively place it because I want to blend it out. So I'm just going to use a small angled brush and begin to blend that. So the blendability of this liner is quite nice. You do have some work time to play, although I have a feeling that when it sets down, it really sets down. I am undecided about this liner. I think this might be better for like a non-smudgy liner. Like I think it would do really good in the waterline or for a really crisp liner look, but for blendy kind of looks like this, it sets down pretty quick. You have a little bit of time to work, but honestly, not as much as other liners that I've tried, but I feel like that would make it a really good long wearing liner. So thoughts TBD, but I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, so BRB. All right, so both eyes applied and done. I'm going to clean the liner up just a little bit. I'm gonna take some of that Maybelline concealer I used earlier on a flat little brush like this, and I'm just going to apply that right underneath my wing in a straight line just to sharpen that edge up a little bit. And as you can see, that does a really nice job of just cleaning up the look and tying that liner all together. This is honestly one of my favorite steps to complete the liner, cleaning up this bottom edge. It makes such a big difference. So before moving on to mascara, I really just want to darken that tight line just to give the liner a little bit more of a clean finished look. So I'm going to take that Rare Beauty liner again and just tight line with it. I actually think that liner will be really good in the waterline and the tight line because I feel like it's not going to budge. I'm going to apply a cluster of falsies just on the outer corner using the Emboss Beauty lashes. These are really, really nice cluster lashes. These are some of my favorites at the moment. So I'm applying these clusters before mascara because I really want to blend the clusters in with my natural lashes. So I'm going to apply the lashes first and then blend with mascara after. I took a little bit of Duo lash glue and waited for it to dry, and then I'm just going to pop that right along the lash line. So on the outer corner, I put medium, and I think I'm gonna put one more shorter one right following it. While those are drying, I'm going to apply a little bit of this kohl liner in my waterline just to brighten up the eyes. This is the Sweet Bright Satin Kohl Liner, and I'm just running that all along my lower lash line, and it does a really good job of making the eyes look bigger, brighter, more awake, all the good stuff. I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of inner corner highlight. I'm using this new from Rare Beauty All of the Above Weightless Eyeshadow Stick in the shade Integrity. I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner. In the photo of Rosie, her lashes are really long and pretty light. They're not too voluminous, so I'm gonna go in with my Give by Gwen Stefani Can't Stop Staring mascara. I feel like this is a really great lengthening mascara. It does a really good job of separating the lashes as well. She was also wearing bottom lash mascara, so I'm just gonna use the precise tip of this brush to just get in there and coat my lower lashes. All right, so the eyes are complete now. I'm gonna move into brows. Taking this brow pencil by Brow Code, I'm using the shade Brunette. I'm just gonna lightly fill in any sparse areas of my brows. I really don't want them to be too heavy. I want them to look light and natural. To set the brows, I kind of wanted something with a little bit of a tint to give my brow hairs a bit more definition, but I still want them to look light and fluffy, so this brow gel is perfect for that. This is the Refi Medium Brown Brow Tint, and I just love the formula of this. It slicks your brows in place and tints them slightly without looking thick and fibrous like a lot of other tinted brow gels kind of look like. So yeah, I really love this one. All right, so moving on to the kind of showstopper of the look, if you will, we're gonna move on to lips. Rosie's lip color is kind of like a bricky, kind of rusty color. Doesn't really look like she's wearing a super dark lip liner or anything like that. I think I'm going to use Wise from Rare Beauty. This is just a really pretty, it's kind of similar to Whirl actually by MAC, which is one of my favorite lip liners ever. It's definitely got a red tint to it, but I think once I apply the red lip on top, you won't even be able to tell that I'm wearing liner, but it's gonna give us that extra little bit of definition that I think is really important for a bold lip. So before I apply lipstick, I always like to hydrate my lips, so I thought, why not use the Rose Inc lip treatment? This is such a nice light lip treatment, but it is really moisturizing and nourishing on the lips. So I have some choices. They're all by Hourglass. These are their unlocked lipsticks. So I'm deciding between these three. I feel like this one is a little bit too orange, so I'm gonna knock this one out. And I'm just stuck between these two. They're honestly so similar. I think I'm gonna go in with this one. I've been really wanting to try this one. This is in the shade Red O, and I just feel like this is such a classic red lip color. I'm gonna blot it on the lips because I'm going for more of a lighter blotted wash of color versus a really intense application. I want this to look really kind of classy and minimal almost. All right, so I actually feel like the color is quite similar. With the lip treatment on underneath, I feel like it's a little bit shinier than Rosie's, but I like it. I really love this color. It's a very wearable red. Like I'm wearing a red lipstick, but it feels kind of natural. I don't know, it just suits my look and my skin tone really well. It almost feels like I'm not wearing a red lip, if you know what I mean. All right, so now that everything's applied, I'm gonna set the face. I'm going to just tap out my under eyes with a beauty blender just to make everything smooth. I don't really know if this is gonna go with the look, but I just wanted to try this powder because I recently got it in PR. This is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder in the shade Cupcake. And it's a little bit of a pinky powder, so I don't think I've actually ever used a super pinky powder like this. This isn't that pink, but it's definitely like a tinge pink, so I'm excited to see what that's gonna look like on my skin tone. Whew. Oh my, it is definitely very scented. I've never had a scented powder before. I'm gonna pick some up on a powder puff and just kind of like blot off the extra on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to press that under my eye. And then I'm just going to dust away any excess powder using a fluffy brush. That powder is super matte. I don't really know how brightening it is. I'm going to apply a little bit more underneath my eye just to see if it's more brightening when you apply more. Interesting, it does look good. I just was expecting a little bit more. I was expecting a little bit more coverage and a little bit more brightness, but again, that's the first time I've ever tried that powder, so I kind of want to play around with different application styles. But all over the rest of my face, I want it to be really glowy and luminous, so I'm going to go in with my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette. This is the perfect luminous setting powder. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and mix all of these shades together and just apply that all over my face. It does look like Rosie's wearing a little bit of highlight, but it's more of a glossy, dewy highlight. So I'm gonna go in with this Victoria Beckham Beauty Reflect Stick in the shade Pearl. And I'm just going to apply that right on my cheekbone, like that. Ooh, this highlight is so beautiful. I am obsessed. And then I just tap it out with my finger. All right, and this is the finished look inspired by Rosie Huntington. What do you guys think of this look? I love the way this came together. I don't normally go for a black winged liner, but I think this is really pretty and I really like this lip color a lot. I feel like I'm gonna be reaching for it more often when I want a red lip, but I don't wanna feel too obnoxious, you know? Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any future videos. And if you haven't already, definitely join me in my community. It's called The Beauty Circle. I will leave a link down below. It's where I talk to all of you guys on a more personal, kind of private level, and I share all my tips and tricks with you guys. And yeah, it's just an awesome little community and I would love to have you. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.